Chaplin is a 1992 biographical comedy-drama film about the life of British comedian Charlie Chaplin. It was produced and directed by Richard Attenborough and stars Robert Downey, Jr., Marissa Tomei, Dan Aykroyd, Penelope Ann Miller, and Kevin Kline. It also features Geraldine Chaplin in the role of her own paternal grandmother, Hannah Chaplin. The film was adapted by William Boyd, Brian Forbes and William Goldman from the books My Autobiography by Chaplin and Chaplin, His Life and Art by film critic David Robinson. Associate producer Diana Hawkins got a story credit. The original music score was composed by John Barry. Plot: the film is structured around lengthy flashbacks as the elderly Charlie Chaplin recollects moments from his life during a conversation with fictional character George Hayden, the editor of his autobiography. Chaplin's recollections begin with his childhood of extreme poverty, from which he escapes by immersing himself in the world of the London music halls, after which he relocates to the United States. There are references to some of his many romantic episodes, his professional collaboration with Mack Sennett and friendship with Douglas Fairbanks, and the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation accusing him of communist sympathies and forcing him to leave the United States. The film ends with Chaplin returning to the United States to accept an honorary award at the 1972 Academy Awards ceremony. Cast: Robert Downey, Jr. as Charlie Chaplin, Marissa Tomei as Mabel Normand, Geraldine Chaplin as Hannah Chaplin, Charlie's mother, Paul Rees as Sidney Chaplin, Charlie's half-brother, John Thor as Fried Carno, British Music Hall impresario, Moira Kelly as Hetty Kelly, Charlie's first love, Una O'Neill, Charlie's final wife, Anthony Hopkins as George Hayden, Charlie's biography editor, Dan Aykroyd as Mack Sennett, an early Hollywood film producer, Penelope Ann Miller as Edna Purviance, a young Hollywood actress, Kevin Kline as Douglas Fairbanks, a leading man in early Hollywood movies, Matthew Cottle as Stan Laurel, a Hollywood comedian, Maria Patillo as Mary Pickford, a leading lady in early Hollywood movies, Mila Jovovich as Mildred Harris, a young Hollywood actress and Charlie's first wife, Kevin Dunn as J. Edgar Hoover, head of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, Deborah Moore as Lita Gray, a young Hollywood actress and Charlie's second wife, Diane Lane as Paulette Goddard, a young Hollywood actress and Charlie's third wife, Nancy Travis as Joan Barry, a young Hollywood actress, James Woods as Joseph Scott, a California attorney, David Duchovny as Roland Tothero, Chaplin's longtime cameraman. Casting: although Downey was Attenborough's first and only choice for Chaplin, TriStar and Carol Coe wanted either Robin Williams or Billy Crystal for the role. Jim Carrey was also considered for Chaplin. At one point, Peter Sellers was approached to portray the role as well. Release: critical reception. The film received mixed to positive reviews. Although the film was criticized for taking dramatic license with some aspects of Chaplin's life, Downey's performance as Chaplin won universal acclaim. Attenborough was sufficiently confident in Downey's performance to include historical footage of Chaplin himself at the end of the film. The film was lauded for its high production values, but many critics dismissed it as an overly glossy biopic. One critic wrote that the screenplay endeavors to cover too much ground. The life of Charlie Chaplin was so vast and varied that a film is far too restrictive a format to give it justice. Chaplin currently holds a 57% rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 47 reviews. Awards: Home Media. The film was released on VHS in 1993 and later on DVD in 1997. A 15th anniversary edition was released by Lionsgate Entertainment in 2008. The anniversary edition contained extensive interviews with the producers, and included several minutes of home movie footage shot on Chaplin's yacht. The box for this DVD mistakenly lists the film's running time as 135 minutes. The 15th anniversary edition was later released on Blu-ray in February 15, 2011. Soundtrack. The soundtrack to Chaplin was released on December 15, 1992.